Let me give you the. I'm right now at Addison, and I'm at Addison and Sheffield. It's still pretty mayhemish down here. My left hand, my left hand's on the camera, and my right in my phone, and I think we're gonna. And it's still pretty crazy down here. It's still pretty crazy down here. There's still people there's still people up in the bleachers right now, and I think they're just being interviewed. I think that there's so many people up there. It's incredible. There's probably hundreds of people down here. But it's not as bad as you would hope it would be. However, I've heard reports of people crying. Because first time in 71 years that that's happening, and I would totally understand it. I would totally understand it if it was the same for me. So right now I'm just following people.
Is there anybody there old enough to remember that's crying?
There are some older folks here, but they're very, it's mostly younger folks, of course, because it's a new generation here. It's a total new generation here. So that's how we go. That's how it goes. And there's been so many people that have been just coming down here to celebrate as if they need to celebrate, even if they're not Cub fans.
So, Sid, if you were the gatekeeper at the Cubs game and somebody wanted to bring in their goat, how would you respond?
Let them in. Let them all in.
Free peanuts for the dog? For the goat?
Bartman. We need Bartman back. We totally need Bartman back. Bartman riding the goat.
All right. Well, there should be a ceremony with the riding of the goat down the field.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we'll be in Cleveland on Tuesday.
All right, but would that be proper? I see on Facebook people are eating goat heads. Is that an appropriate response?
No, it's not inappropriate because they're still because they're in the World Series doesn't mean they've won yet.
Right, but if they do win the World Series and people eat goat meat, does it give much respect to the goat?
Well, I doubt it. But at this point right now, I'd say that I would say that everybody is slap happy tonight. Everybody is slap happy tonight, but I'd say give it a couple of days, and they're going to be right back. They're all going to be charged, but please, it's a very hard thing to beat. So right now, I'd say that at this point, I still think that Cleveland. You go right ahead. I think that Cleveland at this point is really. Going to be the hard team to beat, so I'd say at this point.
All right, so what happens if the Cubs win and the curse is true?
Then if the Cubs win, they're not going to win it in 4. That's for sure. They're going to win it in probably 6. That's my guess right now. That's my guess right now.
Okay. What does the police presence look like out in the field? The police presence.
Oh my God! There is a lot of presence. I saw a riot vehicle here. At least one roll down Addison.
What is going on? Okay.
That's somebody megaphone playing Go Cubs Go. I'm walking west right now on Addison, I'm just up Clark Street. There are buses here that are going to take the masses home. But right now, the police presence is pretty big, and we're almost trapped in here in a way. When I came up this way, at least 20. And right now, I see the ones where they have the temporary metal detectors. There's at least there are at least there are at least 8 of them I see right now, and it's okay. So right across the street at the Cubby Bear, it's really packed up in front of there. A lot of people are doing selfies and stuff. Of course, you know, this is America and it's the land of selfies. But there's a lot of people. It's really hard to get looking. Oh, there are policemen on horses. There are at least 6 of them on horses. I saw them earlier. So I don't know how I'm going to get through this crowd, but I'm going to try to get through this if I can. So let me call you back, okay?
All right.
All right, I'll call you back soon, I promise.
Sure. All right, bye.
All right.
Ed, what's the report?
What's that? Okay, I'm in a better position. I'm in a way better position right now. So you got this on? You going?
Yep.
Okay, so I am right now at Clark and Addison, directly across from the Cubby Bear. The police presence is huge out here. There is literally in front of me probably about in 4 different squares. I'd say there's probably about maybe 50 to 60 officers in front of me. There are 8 riot cops on horseback. We have mounted police here, captains. They're clearing the roads right now for the buses that are going to come through soon.
What's the plan? Everybody got to go home? Nobody's been home. I live right there. I live right there.
Okay, yeah, you can hear that. So you can hear that. It's like looking south on Clark. The police presence is huge. I did get off at Addison. Managed to get off at Addison.
What's the point?
Managed to get off. There's a lot of broken glass.
Sir, what's the point?
What do you think the cleanup effort's going to be like after everybody leaves?
But those people can't get out. You want people to leave, but they can't get out.
Okay, so you can hear that. There are actually people trying to get home, and they won't even let them. They won't even let them get home. But it's blocked. It's blocked all the way from Clark and Addison, where the Taco Bell is. That whole area is blocked. You can't get in that way. You can walk in, but there's like those, the horses, the metal horses, the bars. They won't let people get out or get on, and the cops keep moving up and they keep moving people back. So the idea is obviously they want people to go home, but I'm certain that people are not going home anytime soon.
What do you think the cleanup is going to be like after everybody leaves?
What's that?
What's the cleanup effort going to look like when everybody leaves?
What does the plan look like?
No, cleanup.
I'm sure they're praying in their heads that everybody goes home peaceably and stuff. And they haven't made the announcements yet, but that they are telling people to go north on Clark, and then to move over. But the cops will not let. Hang on now. I'm gonna try to put this guy on next to me. Okay. Hang on.
Okay.
So right now, people are stuck, as I say, they can't get home, or they don't know how to get home because they're almost stuck. They're stuck in a way. But you know, the idea is if they let one cross, that means everybody crosses. And they're trying. People are just trying in vain just to cross, and they can't. At least we're not in New York. That's the biggest thing, and we're not in New York, and they're not. And they're not. But the cops right now, they're standing back. They're standing down because they just want to see people go home. I totally understand where they're at, but.
What do you think the cleanup effort's going to look like?
What's that?
The cleanup effort. What is that going to look like?
They're probably going to have at least probably 40. Who knows how many? It's really bad. There's beer cans all over the place. Obviously, a lot of broken glass here, a lot of plastic. Looking at the four horses, the horses, you know, have to deal with that. Hopefully, the horses will not, have to deal with that, because they're in the middle of just chaos. I'm sure they're trained pretty well, so I don't see anything behind them, as one would say. But right now, it's pretty peaceable. Well, I see the cleanup effort now. There's a guy with a shovel, and there are people are coming down and trying to clean it up. But there's a lot of people here posing with they're taking selfies of in the lime, in the limelight that says Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs, 2016 National League champions. There's a lot of people taking selfies. I guess that's what cameras are good for, taking selfies. Phone cameras, I guess, are good for taking selfies. There are, let's see, there are just as far as I can look, there are still people trying to get home, and obviously, and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's some kind of, they're pulling out, like champagne bottles. A lot of, I see a lot of champagne bottles down the way here. I also see a lot of I see a lot of beer cans, the usual stuff. My guess is it's going to take about 6 to 8, probably midnight. As soon as they clear out, it should be probably a few more hours. There'll be cleanup probably by 8, 9 o'clock. Probably, hopefully, by overnight by 6 or 7. That's my guess. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yes. As President of the United States, or becoming, or the onset of becoming President of the United States, what do you have to say to your fellow Cubbies?
Well, if I were to say anything to I'd say that obviously the Cubs don't want their fans to riot in the streets, which obviously they have. They've done a lot. It's kind of like this giant orgasm that they've been savoring for 71 years, even though probably the majority of them weren't even born in 1945, let alone maybe their parents weren't born yet. I certainly wasn't born until about another 16 years. So my guess is they're probably happy and everybody's happy, but my guess is they also want people just to go home peaceably, let them do what they gotta, celebrate, and then just go home and don't destroy any property, don't turn any cars over, the crazy thing is that modern day sports has that mentality of wrecking things because people get joyful and a little too joyful, either because they're so overwhelmed with joy and stuff. I mean, obviously, the Cubs have the last time in the World Series was 1945, but of course the last time they won was 1908. So my guess is that the organization probably wants them to be peaceable and not don't get hurt and don't start any fights or don't start any riots. I actually see police helping throw things away like the bomb and stuff like that, which is really unusual for police right now. So it's very, very unusual, but it's really strange. Now across from me, I see a lot of people taking selfies and people taking selfies and stuff, and there's somebody who's waving a flag right above me, and I'm telling you, it's just, everybody does their own version of it. Everybody's doing their own version of it. So there's a sign that says Hombre died for this.
Who did?
Yeah, it says Hombre died for this. These are people that are still coming out of the stadium. So there's still people coming out of the stadium as well. So and there are people crying here too, just as well. So it's just a really probably emotional roller coaster because they've been trained for so many years that they're losing. I think the last couple of years has been the most what they've ever seen that is actually good. There was a guy that walked past me as I was filming earlier, and he said, "Why can't the Bears be like this?" So I mean, to me, it's more obvious to me than anything that fans have been waiting for a long, long time, and
how are the bars doing?
What's that?
How are the bars doing?
The bars, from what I can tell, are hang on for a sec. Hang on, I'm going to put the phone out. Sure. The bars are still crowded, from what I can tell. They're actually the cops are really super fucking close right now. There's a guy waving a huge sign, and the cops actually came and told him not to do that. Don't wave the huge sign. So it was kind of. The buses are finally getting through. This looks like the first one after a while of trying to get through. So that's kind of a big thing. I've already seen. I don't know how many people are getting on the train still, but I know I did see that it was a little. When I got off, there weren't that many people up there. Of course, nobody's going home, and I might try to get home on Sheridan, but as of right now, there is, as I say, it's really peaceful here, and everybody's just kind of, this is better than a Trump rally, okay? This is so much better than a Trump rally.
Was Trump there?
No, definitely not.
Any political figures that we know about in Chicago?
What's that?
Any political figures that we know about in Chicago?
I don't know. I'm certain that the mayor and the governor will have something good to say about it.
Anybody in your cabinet?
What's that?
Anybody in your cabinet?
I haven't seen anybody in my cabinet here just yet, but I'm certain they're around. What I have found it really interesting is cops taking selfies. I don't think they're taking pictures of riot people, but Cops are, whoops, okay. Somebody just got through. They just let somebody go through. I don't know who she is, but maybe she promised him a blowjob later. I don't know. Cops are like that. But they actually let somebody through, so. But they're not letting anybody in or anybody out. That's pretty much it. They're waiting for people to go home. That's what. Right now they're very tolerant, but I do see a horde of policemen going south on. They're going south on Clark right now. I'm not sure why. It looks like. It looks like. I don't know why they're going south. There's just a horde of policemen, and they just keep pushing back. There's just a bunch of them. They keep pushing back. They're starting to break up a little bit here.
Give a description of how the police are.
Okay, I see. Obviously, badge, guns. Guns are not drawn. Bulletproof vests. Hats, regular hats, caps, ball caps. I see regular captains. The guys on horses have the helmets, and the horses don't have helmets. But they're just looking like regular cops right now.
Okay, no shields?
Yeah, they're looking like regular cops right now.
All right. What are their expressions on their faces?
Well, they're sort of like, I think they seem to be like bemused or bewildered. It's just like sort of, they're certainly not dull in faces, but I'm sure they're celebrating.